It's party time and you want to celebrate the occasion. So what do? You serve champagne, right? But do you always want to serve champagne? Do you even like champagne? Now there is an alternative that is just as festive. A premixed gin and tonic, and a real one with a proper strength. Say hi to this guy here, the ELG Premixed Gin and Tonic Classic Edition. Hi guys, and welcome to this very festive episode of High on Gin. The market for premixed gin and tonic has exploded around the world. More and more international gin producers are getting into this market as we, the gin consumers, are looking for easy way to get our gin and tonic. We have seen the really big boys entering the market with huge success, Tanqueray, Gordon's, Bombay Sapphire, just to mention a few. So why this huge interest? Convenience. People seem to love convenience. Sometimes it's just great to be able to get right at it, open, pour, fun, done. But for me, the problem is that I have never really found a premixed gin and tonic that wasn't too sweet or wasn't too weak. It didn't really remind me of a great gin and tonic, but more like a soft drink. And it has always puzzled me that I couldn't find a real alternative to these soft drinks. Why didn't some of my local master distillers make a good premixed gin and tonic? Well, there could be a reason. It appears that it is not as easy as it might seem to make a good premixed gin and tonic. So let's look at what is needed from the master distillers if he wants to get into this market. First of all, you got your own good gin, right? So check mark. But the next issue is a much bigger one. You would have to make your tonic yourself. So you would have to look into what makes a great tonic. What should be in it? How much of the ingredients should be in it? What kind of sugar should you go for? How do you make it preservable? And so on and so forth. Making a good tonic is harder. It's as hard as making a really good gin. It took the guys from Fever Tree 2 years of intense studies until they had their first tonic launched. And the next problem is how to add carbon dioxide and how to do the bottling. Should you buy the machine yourself? That would cost you approximately 40,000 euros or 50,000 US dollars plus installation. Or should you go abroad maybe and find someone who can do it for you? Can they give you the results that you're looking for? And working with someone abroad isn't always easy when it comes to taxes, when it comes to VAT, when it comes to permissions, and not least the bottles, the number of bottles that you would have to order up front. Lastly, of course, when you have your own gin and tonic premixed version, you would have to go through all the local taxation laws, the VAT, the deposit labels, and it's just another layer, another dimension to the list of issues that you would have to solve before getting this onto the market. All this could add up to the conclusion that this is too cumbersome to get into. So you would have it to leave it up to the big boys because they can handle every part of the process themselves. So therefore, it is even more impressive when you finally see that one of our local distillers here in Denmark, ELG Gin, has gone through every task and made it to the end with this beautiful bottle. Bravo! If you've seen one of my previous episodes regarding juniper, ELG Gin is not new to my show. Otherwise, I have put a link to the show up here. But let's take a closer look at this one here, the premixed classic version. First of all, I have to compliment the bottle. Instead of these rather unsexy metal cans or aluminum cans that many uses, ELG has gone for this classic champagne bottle. It has this large foil or capsule that is placed over the cork, I just love these colors, these white and silver and light blue colors. The label reminds me of, something like something between Ralph Lauren Polo logo and Mom Champagne label with this crossband. I love the moose in the background, as elk means moose in Danish. And when you open, it's done the right way, as a champagne with a festive pop. Let's try this. Oh yeah. It has this deep punt in the bottom of the bottle, making it possible to serve it, with style. Maybe not the style I just did, but you can make it in style. So, to the taste. It holds 12% ABV, which is twice as much as a Tanqueray Premixed Gin and Tonic. And it's about the same that you would get if you did your own gin and tonic with 1 part gin and 3 parts tonic. The gin used for this premixed gin and tonic here is the ELG No. 1. It is a very juniper heavy gin that scores a gold medal and 98 out of 100 points at IWSC's competition in 2020. Master distiller Henrik Elsner has made his own tonic. Not the easiest task, as I just described, but he's so fortunate. He has a background at Carlsberg when he was a young scientist, so he actually knows a thing or two about making soft drinks. It is a very citrusy and a very dry tonic with a kick from the quinine that goes very well along with this gin here. It is super classic. Of course, the name indicates that as well. He has used a specialized company in Germany to carbonate the gin and tonic and to bottle it for him. And they, I think, have really nailed it with all of these fine little bubbles that comes up, even when it's poured over ice, where many tonic loses their bubbles. As this is a very classic gin and tonic, it has both acidity and a slight dryness and bitterness to it. If you're a full-blown classic gin and tonic kind of guy, you should simply just add a small piece of lemon zest to the gin and tonic. If you like your gin and tonic a bit sweeter, you can just add a couple of orange pieces and then maybe some of the orange zest to make it, to give it this bit more sweeter flavor to this gin and tonic. This here is a 70 centiliter bottle. It has, as I said, 12% ABV, which is 6 units of alcohol, or the same as about 1/3 of this bottle of gin. And since ELG Gin has made this a very classic gin and tonic, the amount of sugar is very low compared to, let's say, the Tanqueray. They uses twice as much sugar as there is in this one. The standard price in Denmark for this bottle is about 199 kroner, or 27 euros, or $33, which also makes it twice as expensive as the Tanqueray Premixed Gin and Tonic. But you know what? I would much rather pay more and get more quality over quantity. ELG Gin should have sold their first batch like this, and the second batch is getting sold right now. So it just shows that there is a growing demand for premixed gin and tonics out there. I would gladly serve this at New Year's Eve, or bring it along on a picnic with my sweet wife or good friends, or serve it to food where this classic citrusy gin and tonic can counterbalance, let's say, heavier or fattier food instead of serving an acidic white wine. And I just hope that Henrik Elsner makes more version of this. I would love to see maybe a floral version, maybe a pink version for the ladies, or maybe even a version based on his amazing sloe gin. You know, the possibilities are endless. But first of all, I have to say, great start, ELG Gin. Keep up the good work and make sure to have more versions for the, we hope, for the summer coming up. So we can go to the beach, to the park, or picnic, and still have great gin and tonic moments. I hope that ELG Gin's success and successive launch has been an inspiration to other distillers to try to overcome all these obstacles and go forward. Until next time.